Hello everybody, welcome to this week's Wisdom Wednesday. I am Kristen Gear. I am the Director of Information for BNI Arizona, so I help assist all of the chapters in the Valley for anything BNI related. And today I have a special guest with me, Mr. Peter Bartolini, and he's going to share with you some amazing information about how to spice up your gains profile. So for those of you who are visiting for the first time on this Wisdom Wednesday, I provide a weekly education video, so that way you can earn one chapter education unit for watching this video, so please make sure to log that credit. And if you have missed any of the past videos, if you go to the desktop version of Facebook, there is a video link to where you can view all of the past videos since last November. I can't believe it's been almost a year since I've been doing these Wisdom Wednesday videos. So check them out, definitely log that education. And so I want to introduce you Peter Bartolini. He's a member of my chapter. He was past education coordinator, and now he's our incoming vice president. And he has created an amazing gains profile that he's been using for years. And he's been doing education at our chapter on it, and I wanted for him to share this information with you guys. It's a brand new BNI year, and we're starting to make our goals for the brand new year. So this gains profile is going to be the perfect thing to add to your tools in your toolbox when you have your upcoming one-to-one. So Peter, how long have you been in BNI now?
Probably a good decade. I was in during the aughts, went to do the certified networker for a couple of years, and then came back in 2011.
Perfect.
So been here ever since.
Yeah. So he's been here a long time, guys.
Yeah.
So he definitely knows his stuff. So Peter, if you want to walk us through how you've kind of created your gains profile and how we can improve ours.
Yeah, so the gains profile, it's like this is the blocking and tackling of BNI. This is the front side is just connecting points. I label mine personal and then professional. It's just connecting points. You sit down with somebody who's a different generation, different age group, whatever. What might we have in common that just on the face of it I wouldn't know? Just based upon who we are.
Right.
But then after that, because we like to work with people that we've got some type of affinity, and so we built the affinity. After that, who is it that or how are we equipping our sales team to go out and represent us? How are we conditioning their mind to think about us when they encounter all the situations that whenever I see it, I say, well, wait, I might be able to help you with that because I do X, Y, Z. Mm-hmm. How do we engage them to start thinking like that? And so I just took the back, and on the back I've got the opportunity for the target market, and I try to encourage people, you got to be really specific. You have to be, it has to be something that's recognizable.
Right. Often
a lot of the business-to-business folks will put, I'm looking for small to medium-sized business, and I say to myself, I have no idea what that, I don't know. I don't even know if my own business is where we would fall. We've got 3,000 employees. Is it small? Is it large? I don't know.
Right. So getting specific.
Or businesses that do between $5 and $10 million of, how do I know that?
Right.
Can I ask people walking to the restaurant, how much do you guys gross every year? I'm just trying to figure out if you're a good referral for this person.
Right.
So when you say
a little personal.
a dry cleaner that has multiple locations, you might get something that, it's a national chain, I can't help them. Oh no, that's a great local business that I'd like. Now that I can put my mind around. Restaurants, great, very generic. I know what a restaurant is. I can identify it. I don't have to sort of pre-qualify them based upon how many employees they have, how big they are.
Right.
So get really, really specific. If you miss, it's okay, because you can probably still help that other person.
Right.
So the target market. The next is the phrases to listen for. And I had so many wonderful phrases to listen for. Things like, hey, we're expecting our first child, or we got engaged. Hey, I just got my first job. These are wonderful things, at least for me. Mm-hmm. But what I realized was I did not necessarily have what I would say next, the optimal response, for even some of my own phrases to listen for. What would I say? It's kind of awkward and clunky. So I've actually put into mine the phrases to listen for and the optimal response.
Oh.
How better to train your sales force than to give them the words to say? When you hear this, say, well, gosh, that's such an exciting time. You're having your first baby. There's a few things you got to consider. Or, I've been to your apartment, and where are you going to put the baby? Are you going to build a tent onto the balcony? Whatever the response would be.
Right. No, I think that's really important, because I think a lot of times we tell people about those catchphrases and things to listen for, but then once we listen for them and we hear them, we're like, oh, well, what do I say next?
Yeah, you need life insurance. You might die,
Right.
It's just awkward.
Yes, it can be very awkward. So knowing the right verbiage and how to approach different responses is definitely key.
Well, the phrases to listen for, it's only half of the training. I mean, we're training our sales force. Mm-hmm. Tell them what to say. I mean, I script so much of my business. It's just, we're going to do the same thing, every time. We're going to say the same things, the things that resonate, that we know resonate.
Yeah.
And so how could we rely on our sales team to just pull that stuff out of thin air?
Right.
So that's what I have next. After that, conversation starters. So this is more for your target market, and I've always broken my target market down to the rabbits and the rabbit farmers, and we go through that in MSP. So what is a conversation starter for like a rabbit farmer? So for me, it would be realtors who don't want to have anything to do with another new lender ever in their life, which I totally understand. So what is it? How can you train your sales team to start a conversation? Oh, you do real estate, and have you ever thought about X, Y, and Z for your clients, for your listings, whatever it is? What is it that that your sales team should say when they meet that rabbit farmer, or in some instances when they meet that rabbit that you want them to, that you want to be introduced to? How do they start the conversation? And on mine, I even have some quippy follow-ups, especially for the realtors, because the response is always, I already work with a lender. Yes, we know you already work with a lender. And so I've got my own quippy response. And then highlighted on mine is, how do you want to be introduced?
Yes, and that's important.
It's really important, because there are some people in BNI, they can't call people. Attorneys aren't able to just call out and say, hey, I understand you need to be represented by somebody. So it's important, how do you want to be introduced? And then even sort of explain through that with somebody, but put that on there. And then I put my contact, my tagline again, and then I go through this every time I do a one-to-one. And here's the thing, bring it. Like, I don't know why BNI doesn't, we think that this is, not needed, but it's like showing up and not doing your commercial every week. I'm going to pass on my commercial this week. Why? This is the value. This is the opportunity to do a one-to-one, to go through, like, I want to go through this, and I can chitty chat, but I got to get through this because I want these people to know how to sell me.
Right.
Because that's why I'm here.
Exactly.
And so I go through this, and I know, I hand it out. By the way, I also printed on a little bit nicer paper, just because it's important to me.
Yeah, I've even seen people print it on colored paper, so that way it stands out.
Right. Yeah. I don't care if the member that I give this to throws it out right afterwards. I'll like circle things. I'll go through it. I don't sit there and study old ones, but I've interacted with it. If somebody brings it to me, I've interacted with it. Right. I now have it more in my memory than if somebody just recited this to me, or if somebody, had it. I've had somebody hold up their phone and say, "Oh yeah, I've got a copy on here." Well, that doesn't really work for me.
Right.
So use it, go through it. I've also seen some other examples that I think are fantastic, because this is perfect for like my profession and probably a lot of the folks in BNI. But there are other people. There are other members of in our chapter, at least, that it doesn't necessarily fit the phrases to listen for. We don't really. It's harder to get your mind around how to introduce them and who they're looking to meet, and so they've put simple things on there like the following describes the type of products and services that I offer. Examples of qualified referrals would be, I love this, examples of referrals that are not what I'm looking for. I mean, that is so perfect because you're sort of sketching in these people, making them more recognizable, and by saying I'm not looking for this, and Arlene here does Medicare, and so someone, snowbirds, where Arizona is not their primary residence. Well, that's great to know because she could spend a lot of time on that, but again, it puts it in mind who they are and are not looking to talk to. And then the following scenario describes a perfect referral for me. And then she also lists her ideal referral partners. We have a counselor in our chapters, and Gabrielle puts my ideal referral partners. She describes scenarios that really does hone in on these are the types of people that she can help benefit the most. She also does these are the referrals I'm not looking for.
Right.
And again, for somebody who's in the counseling profession, it's hard to bring that stuff up. But when you see people in those situations, now I know I have a resource for them.
Right.
And I also know what to say to introduce them to my referral partner.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So guys, please make sure to go up and make your own gains profile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post all of these different samples of gains profiles on this page. So in the document section, I will make sure to put these on there so that way you guys can check them out and then create one for yourself. That way you can print them out and use them during one-to-ones. Those of you who are not familiar what GAINS stands for, it's goals, accomplishments, interests, networks, and skills. And just like Peter said, you can do both personal and professional. He lays it out to where one side is business, one side is personal. So just depending on what works for you and your business, I highly encourage you guys, get these details together. Start the BNI New Year off right. Putting down your goals, sharing your goals. I listed in a past Wisdom Wednesday that you guys, it's a brand new year. Share your goals with one another, and this gains profile is a game changer, especially, I know a lot of us still do the normal gains profile, but then on the back, adding all of that extra additional information to help train our sales force is so key, especially if you want to take your business to the next level. It's so important to then train your sales force to then look for things on the next level as well. So Peter, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And once again, guys, this is Wisdom Wednesday. Make sure to record one chapter education unit for watching. And if you have any questions, definitely let me know. Have a great week.